Ladies, listen up. Pay attention to the compliments a guy gives you because it determines how he views you and your relationship with him. Let's go through them so we don't get our hearts broken, okay? Number one, you're so cute, sweet, adorable compliments. That man does not see you as a woman. He sees you as a child and something to temporarily play around with. If all he's doing is calling you adorable, I hate to break it to you, but he is not taking you seriously and you need to leave. Hot, sexy, oh my god, your body is so good. Yeah, you're an object to him. Hate to break it to you, but he sees you as a body. He needs to be complimenting something other than your physical appearance. He calls you those names, he wants one thing and one thing only. When he calls you bossy or says you have an attitude or you ask for too much, no babe, you're asking for the bare minimum and he literally can't even give you that. If he wanted to, he would. If he compliments you for being chill and says he loves how calm you are, in other words, he likes how you're not holding him to a standard and he can do whatever he wants without you flipping out.
You know what, guys? I agree with this woman right here. I think that we as men, we should stop complimenting women because it seems no matter what you say, unless you're highly attractive, they take it as something negative anyway. By this woman's logic, guys, I think we should not validate women anymore. I give her the stamp of approval. I think she is quite the genius. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we are going to be covering some clips here from some women, and they're going to be telling us some very interesting things. So as we go through, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, subscribe on your way in, and as always, guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link is in the description. I say this pretty much every video now, guys. Make sure that you come and join us over there. I'm going to be removing videos from this YouTube channel and posting them over there slowly, just in case we get deleted off of here, guys. So make sure you sign up. It's totally free. There's a support option if you're interested. Link is in the description. But let's take a listen to this clownery one more time as my character, fails to load in and see what she has to say. Guys, leave your thoughts. Let's crack on.
Pay attention to the compliments a guy gives you because it determines how he views you and your relationship with him.
Maybe he's just complimenting you because he figures it's the nice thing to do. Right, this brings a whole new meaning to like chivalry is dead and women killed it, don't you think, guys? Like maybe a man is just complimenting you because he just wants to compliment you, right? Like lo and behold, what a terrible and awful thing.
Let's go through them so we don't get our hearts broken, okay? Number one, you're so cute, sweet, adorable compliments. That man does not see you as a woman. He sees you as a child and something to temporarily play around with.
Don't you guys find it interesting how these women just apparently just know what men are thinking? Maybe he's just calling you these things because he finds you cute or adorable. Now, I don't know why he would use these adjectives with you specifically. Take that how you will, but maybe he's just like the ridiculousness that a man like says these things because he has some ridiculous underlying motives is really ridiculous. A lot of guys say these things just because they want to be nice or be polite or because it's what they've been taught to do, even though validating women, as we all know, guys, and as you should all know, is a terrible idea, generally speaking. Let's continue.
If all he's doing is calling you adorable, I hate to break it to you, but he is not taking you seriously and you need to leave. Hot, sexy.
What a way to just ruin a relationship. Can you guys imagine, right? Like you call your girl adorable and she's like, oh yeah, thanks very much. And then she hangs out with her friends and she comes back and she's like, you treat me like a child. Do you think I'm a child? You don't value our relationship. And you're sitting there thinking like, what the hell? Like I literally gave you a like, where did this even come from? And this is the kind of crap, like you hear these girls, they talk to each other and they're like, oh, Stacy, you need to break up with him. He obviously doesn't take your relationship seriously. This is some of the most terrible advice I've ever heard. Let's continue.
Oh my god, your body is so good. Yeah, you're an object to him. Hate to break it to you, but he sees you as a body. He needs to be complimenting something other than your physical appearance. He calls you those.
I find it interesting how women will say like, don't objectify us, but then at the same time, he needs to compliment you, right? How many videos have I shown you guys of women complaining about how men aren't paying them attention, men aren't complimenting them, men aren't validating them, and that makes you as a man not a man, right? But if you compliment them on those things by this woman's logic, now, you're just objectifying her, you're awful, and probably by extension, in the eyes of at least many other women, you're a product of the patriarchy and you're just trying to oppress them. Like, this is, you see how this is worded, guys, is like, no matter what, you can't make them happy, right? So a lot of men are just saying, oh, you know what? I agree with you. I'm not going to validate you. I'm not going to compliment you. And you can walk around like a horse without water and cry about it.
Those names, he wants one thing and one thing only. When he calls you bossy or says you have an attitude or you ask for too much, no, babe, you're asking for the bare minimum and he literally can't even give you that. If he wants.
Notice how she takes the negative thing to be called as a positive thing. Is that not the most backwards crap you've ever heard? Okay, so in this woman's logic, right, being called cute, adorable, or being told that she has a nice body, these are all no-nos because she's being objectified. But if you call her bossy or anything like that, probably controlling as well, oh, well, no, now she's just, she just knows what she wants, right? It's like, you wonder why you end up with men who treat you like trash, because those, like, your whole system for navigating what is the right thing to say, what men should be saying to you, quote unquote, should be saying to you, is just completely incorrect. This is what happens, guys, when fathers aren't around. Like, I can't say it any other way. This is what happens when father figures are not in lives.
Wanted to, he would. If he compliments you for being chill and says he loves how calm you are, in other words, he likes how you're not holding him to a standard and he can do whatever he wants without you flipping out.
And that little womanist rant is over. But guys, let's continue on to the next clip. We have a few lined up. And again, guys, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen to what this woman has to say. Now, right off the bat, guys, we've got the arm tattoo. So I'm interested to hear what this one's about.
After going through 4 interviews with this particular company, I found out that I didn't get the job. And I have never, ever in my life cried about not getting a job. But I cried as if I got my heart broken because I was so sure that I had it, and I also really, really need a job after searching for so long, and I just refused to settle. I let myself cry for a while, really, really, really hard. And then I kind of just decided I'm kind of just tired of allowing companies and jobs to determine my worth. And I'm tired of letting them decide that I'm not worth it or I'm not deserving of the job or, whatever it may be. Like, I'm so tired in general of allowing external people and external factors decide my worth because they don't get to.
To the people.
Unfortunately, guys, I agree with her for a large portion of that, right? Like, it sucks if you get rejected for a job or whatever the case may be. And obviously this is a difficult thing for many people trying to put meals on the table, especially nowadays with the economy being as trash as it is, right? There are a lot of valid points here. But it's interesting to notice, like, we're in a time now, guys, where, like, okay, if you get rejected for 50 million jobs, maybe you should remove the septum piercing, And unfortunately, the way it works is, like, if you're going for a job, or if you're trying to get a boyfriend, they're going to judge you, right? If you go up to a man and you're covered in tattoos and you're a single mother to a child and the baby father isn't in the picture, and you say, you know what, you shouldn't judge me, okay, you should just take me on board no matter what, then that's not going to fly. If you're applying for a job, and like you're crazy, you're covered in tattoos, you got piercing, you got so much metal in your face, it's like, you're going to be ruled out by some people, whether or not that's right or wrong in your eyes, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I see girls complain about dating guys and like, oh, men don't get the right to judge us, or nobody has the right to judge us. Judgment is very important in life, guys. Like, and this is something that specifically is taken away from men, because we're taught today that you shouldn't judge no matter what. Don't judge her if she's got 50 tattoos, guys. Don't judge her if she's got long nails. Don't judge her if she's a single mother. Don't judge her if she's overweight. All of these things are just body positivity and crap like that. And she's strong and independent. Okay, but notice how the strong and independence goes, just gets thrown out the window when things start to get a bit difficult. But I'm not trying to downplay the struggles there of the job specifically. I know that's just a really hard thing nowadays, guys. But let's continue.
External factors decide my worth because they don't get to.
To the people who keep a job for longer than 3 months, I applaud you. Like, I'm getting all my forms for my taxes, and I have like 5 different forms from 5 different jobs in 1 year. Like, I'll start a job, I'll love it, and then 3 months later, I'm like, no, like, this is really not for me, and then I quit.
Okay, this woman on the other hand, like, it's funny, right? The other woman's like, man, I've been trying so hard. No job place wants me, right? No corporation wants me on board. And she's got like the sleeve and the septum piercing and all that kind of crap. Meanwhile, we've got the woman over here. And I can kind of empathize with the first part, you know, finding a job can be hard depending on where you are. This woman right here is just quitting jobs just because she doesn't feel like it, guys. Can you imagine that, right? Like, you just don't feel like doing things, so, you know, you just don't do them. Like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like trying hard on the squats today. I don't feel like doing legs. And then you walk around looking like an idiot because your calves are tiny. Then you walk around starving because you can't put food on the table. Like, this is 2022 in a nutshell, guys. You got a lot of privileged people out here who are like, you know what? I don't feel like working. I'm just going to quit. It's like, okay, bro, interesting.
I don't know, something about working just doesn't sit right with me.
I find it so exhausting to be so stressed about money all the time when I shouldn't have to be. I make $80,000 a year, which is pretty decent. And I just got my lease renewal terms from the apartment I'm living in. They're upping my rent to the point where I'm like considering moving back in with my parents. And I'm pretty good with money. Like, I really do a really good job of budgeting and sticking to my budget and saving. And I am stressed about money 24/7. And I make $80,000 a year. And I'm living in a studio apartment. It's exhausting. It's like you get that promotion, you get that raise, and then it's literally gone.
Why women are so...
You know what, guys? This might be one of the rare videos where I actually agree with a few things that these women have said. Economically speaking, right now, the world kind of sucks. In a lot of places, wages are not going up by the same amount that, you know, living standards, you know, how much you have to pay for living. Like, you know, a lot of people are out here really struggling. We got the fuel prices going up, everything like that. There's like materials shortages for building houses and everything. House prices are through the roof. So I can kind of see where this woman is coming from. But don't you find it funny, guys, how like the strong and independent chants seem to dry up real quick, right? And a lot of these girls, not necessarily the last two that I've shown right here, but you know, we get all these girls out here saying like, oh, I'm strong and independent. And then when stuff starts to hit the fan, when there's like a war going on, who do we send? Right? We send the men, right? Like, oh, the economy is going bad. What do? We blame the man and we got to go find a rich guy. Is typically the crap that you'll hear. It's really quite disgusting. Like, men always get thrown under the bus. Like, it's the first thing, right? All the strong and independent ladies, they all like shuffle to the back of the room, right? But I do see where this woman is coming from. Like, housing prices nowadays, guys, are just totally ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Get that promotion, you get that raise, and then it's literally gone.
Why women are so fed up with men? I have a story. This guy and I decided to spend Valentine's Day together. So I had cooked a whole dinner. I'm vegan. I still went out of my way and cooked chicken for him, made myself a veggie dish, like made a whole cute little space in my living room. I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me. No nasties were happening. Literally came over, we watched a movie and ate dinner. That's it. So anyways, I had done this whole thing, prepared a whole ass dinner, went to the grocery store, cleaned my place, you know, took hours doing this shit. He stayed over until about 1 a.m. until his ought-to-be mom was blowing up his phone. Y'all already know how to-be moms are. He left and I was KO'd on the couch. A few hours later, I wake up and I walk into my kitchen and found that he had literally not cleaned anything up. Was I expecting him to clean up? No, but it would have been considerate, don't you think? Especially when I made him this whole ass dinner and he just dropped by the store and got me some cake. Hello? Let me tell y'all something. It don't matter if you be doing that wifey if you don't be doing that wifey some men just ain't gonna appreciate what you bring to the table, period.
Ladies,
Let me say this right off the bat, guys. So this woman spent a Valentine's Day. She hung out with the dude on Valentine's Day. So let's wind that back and kind of break it down and see what she had to say there, okay? Because this man was not her boyfriend. Right? Again, there'd be plenty of dudes in her DM willing to have a relationship with her, but what does she do? She spends Valentine's Day with this dude, cooks for him, and he's not even her boyfriend. Let's take a listen.
Why women are so fed up with men? I have a story. This guy and I decided to spend Valentine's Day together.
this guy and I. So not your boyfriend, not your husband, no, nothing, right? Just a dude that, let's be honest, you're hooking up with, and he came over to spend Valentine's Day with you, and you cooked for him. Okay, and you're mad because he didn't clean up, right? It's like, when are these girls going to learn that, yeah, you're an option. You're just the girl that he goes over to for some fun, right? These girls, they fail to secure commitment from a man, and then they complain when the guy does nothing for them. It's like, he's not even your dude. He's not even your boyfriend. Okay, maybe he should have cleaned up the dish, sure, but like, why on earth? Like, let's that's an argument. That's a different discussion entirely, okay? Why on earth are you spending Valentine's Day with some dude and cooking for him? Sounds to me like you're in a bit of a situationship here, right?
So I had cooked a whole dinner. I'm vegan. I still went out of my way and cooked chicken for him, made myself a veggie dish, like made a whole cute little space in my living room. I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me. No.
Look at this, right? So she guys, like, let's call it for what it is. She's in a situationship with this dude, right? And she wants to get with him. Look what she captioned this, by the way. She says, wifey crap that she's doing. You're not even a girlfriend, bro. I find it funny, right? How this woman would have men in her DMs who would be happy to have a relationship with her. And yet she's out here doing, like, in her words, wife stuff for a dude who she's not even with, right?
No nasties were happening. Literally came.
That's a lie as well. Like, let's be honest, guys. Like, the dude rocked up at your house for Valentine's Day, what, to just eat some food and watch a movie? I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it.
Came over, we watched a movie, and ate dinner. That's it. So anyways, I had done this whole thing, prepared a whole ass dinner, went to the grocery store, cleaned my place, took hours doing this shit. He stayed over until about 1 a.m. until his ought-to-be mom was blowing up his phone. Y'all already know how to-be moms are. He left, and I was KO'd on the couch. A few hours later,
So he left at 1 a.m. Guys, like, don't lie to me. Like, this dude totally went over there, had some fun, and then dipped on out. And now she's like, oh, I'm so done with the men, right? I'm done with men because they just used me for some fun and some food. And now I'm frustrated because he left. What do you think the majority of women use men for, by the way? Like, a lot of women will literally just use men for food. But yet girls are out here complaining because they're voluntarily doing this crap for dudes who clearly aren't going to commit to them. I've made this point many times before, guys, but it's very obvious when a dude's just, like, not interested in making you his girlfriend. Like, if you were to ask fathers to pick boyfriends or husbands for their daughters, they could easily do it and choose a good man. But these girls, they're like, oh crap, I can't find a guy to commit to me. It's so difficult. It's such a difficult task. It's not a difficult task. You're supposed to secure commitment before you have hookups with dudes. Like, it's really not that complicated. But, these girls, they want to put commitment at the end of it and then complain when what they get is no commitment from a man. It's ridiculous.
Wake up and I walk into my kitchen and found that he had literally not cleaned anything up. Was I expecting him to clean up? No, but it would have been considerate, don't you think? Especially when I made him this whole ass dinner and he just dropped by the store and got me some cake. Hello? Let me tell y'all something. It don't matter if you be doing that wifey if you don't be doing that wifey some men just ain't gonna appreciate what you bring to the table, period.
You guys, like, I think a lot of men have kind of caught on to this by now, okay? But I laugh to myself when I hear situations like this because that there's some dude in her DMs that she's leading on or some crap like that, right? Where dudes would be happy to give her a relationship, but yet she's spending her time making meals and, like, nice little areas in the living room and having fun with this dude and all that kind of crap. And she's complaining about men because that one man won't commit to her. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, women will do all of this stuff. They'll cook meals. They'll drive an hour to your house through a thunderstorm if they're attracted to you. Okay, if they're not attracted to you, I'll be like, oh, I'll let you know. I got this thing on this week. Maybe can we do it later? Meanwhile, girls are out here doing all, cooking full-blown meals and all this kind of crap for men that they're actually attracted to. And the man doesn't even need to be in a relationship with them. A lot of guys are looking at this and saying, okay, why would I make you my wife? Why would I make you my girlfriend when, the Chad before me just rocks up to your house at, midnight and gets free food from you? and has some fun with you. Like, why are we as men supposed to go, you know what, that's a wise idea. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to marry you. Like, hell no.
Some men just ain't going to appreciate what you bring to the table, period.
Ladies,
and that is the end of the clips right there, gentlemen. But before you head on out, guys, we are going to be covering a quick article right here. Now, this is a bit of a funny one that I wanted to show you guys today, and it is 15 signs you're dating a man who will break your heart. Because obviously, guys, we need articles written up because these girls just can't seem to figure it out, even though it's the most obvious crap ever. You know, like I said, guys, these girls, they will choose men who so clearly will lie to them, cheat on them, not want to have relationships with them. And then what do, guys? They turn around and they blame men collectively for their own decisions. But guys, let's take a look at this article and go over some of the signs that you're dating a man who will break your heart. And this is from a website called Nancy Nichols. Let's take a listen. Let's just go straight into the signs. Sign number 1, he's arrogant and boasting. He tells elaborate stories of his successes, possessions, travels, and adventures. It sounds too good to be true. Number 2, he's unpredictable and unreliable. He cancels his plans with you. He doesn't call when he says he will. There are large gaps in time between his phone calls and texts. He disappears for days or weeks, and he always has a fantastic excuse for his vanishing act. He's a liar. He exaggerates. He twists the truth, and he lies when he doesn't have to. If you catch him in a lie, he spins another tale to disarm you. You begin to doubt everything he says. He's emotionally unavailable. Your conversations with him are superficial and disheartening. When you try to have a meaningful conversation with him, you feel misunderstood and dejected. You know, notice how, guys, by the way, all of these things, pretty much all of these things in this list are things that women are attracted to. You know, like, let's just go through these, and I'll read them more in depth in a moment, okay? But take a look at this, right? So, a dude who's unpredictable, a guy who's arrogant, a guy who lies, a guy who's emotionally unavailable, a man who's indifferent, he only uses her for bedroom fun, you know, he's moody, he's evasive, he's secretive, you know, blah, blah, blah. He openly flirts with other women. A lot of these points, guys, are things that women themselves will go out here and, unfortunately, they seek them. Whether or not they believe it or not, guys, like, if you literally take a look at the decisions that a lot of modern women make in dating, they choose men who are evasive and secretive. They choose men who are emotionally unavailable, and then they complain about the results. But let's continue with the read here. Your conversations with him are superficial and disheartening. When you try to have meaningful conversations with him, you feel misunderstood and dejected. He doesn't show an interest in your activities or ask for your opinion. His wants, needs, and plans are important, and he minimizes and ignores the things that are important to you. Your relationship with him is driven by bedroom fun. You wonder if sometimes you're a booty call. The answer to that is obviously yes. He's hot, he's cold. You keep a yucky, sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach because you never know where you stand with him. You feel like something is going on in the background, but you're afraid to question him for fear that you will push him away. And guys, this is the funny thing, right? Girls will always say like, oh, you know, I'm seeing this guy and I just want to be myself, right? Like, get you a man who you can be yourself and you know, just really open up to. And the reason why they say this stuff a lot of the time is because they know that they can't be themselves around men, around certain men, because those men will get sick of them, right? For every girl who's out here, and a lot of guys want to get with her, there's always one dude who you could not pay him money to go and see her, guys. You could not pay the dude money because he thinks that she's crazy, whatever the case may be. And girls know where the threshold is, right? Have you guys ever, you know, maybe you guys are out there dating. Have you guys ever been with a girl and she just like refuses to take off her makeup because she doesn't want to look any less attractive to you? Or she'll like wake up very early and she'll put on makeup before you have the chance to wake up, crap like that. Okay, girls know that they're like, oh crap, in order to keep this guy around, I have to do this, 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 and this. I have to cook him food. I have to look good. And if I don't, and they'll scramble to do all of those things if she's, you know, enough attracted to him. But if you're just an average run-of-the-mill guy, she's just going to go, oh yeah, I'll reply later. I'm not going to talk to him and crap like that. He openly flirts with other women. He makes bedroom fun remarks about other women, or he brags about his conquests, which, by the way, guys, never do that. He's non-committal. When you're with him, he makes you feel like you're his one and only, but when he walks out your front door, you feel uncertain of his feelings for you. When you try to talk to him about your relationship, or lack thereof, he shuts down or gives you lip service. He shuns responsibility. Nothing is ever his fault. He blames his exes for his failed relationships. He blames everyone and everything for his misfortunes and problems in life. He blames you for his hurtful behavior. And oh, look at this last one right here as well. He doesn't apologize. Don't hold your breath waiting for an apology for his hurtful behavior because you will asphyxiate. Good idea, guys. I recommend not apologizing. I think that's some fantastic advice right there. And I don't think you should never apologize, guys, but as a general rule, I think that men over-apologize for things that they have no business. So oftentimes it's safer to say, you know what, just cut all of the apologies out of your vocabulary, guys. You know, I find that men typically over-apologize for things that they have no business apologizing for, which is why I think it's a safe bet just to tell men not to apologize for the most part. But guys, let's continue into today's Reddit story, and then we will wrap up today's episode. Now, this one is a bit of a disgusting one. Now, my editor told me not to read this one ahead of time because he thought I'd have a laugh at it. But I've read the title, okay, and I'm prepared with you guys to see just how terrible this is. So let's take a read. All right, so this is called "I Ended My Relationship, a Cautionary Tale to Always Vet and Always Follow the FDS Standards," gentlemen. Okay. A few weeks ago, I ended my first serious relationship of a little over a year with my ex. When we started dating, I had just learned about FDS and was feeling confident in my ability to put into practice in real life. The reality is, I still have so much to learn as a woman in my early 30s who is trying to navigate this dating world that heavily favors men. Wow, look at that, guys. The dating world apparently heavily favors men. Isn't that interesting? That's news to me. I initially thought that he exhibited high-value behavior, planned dates, paid for everything, didn't use spicy content online, and cared about my bedroom fun needs. But as time went on, more and more of his low-value behavior came out, and some things that I initially thought were high value actually weren't. They just became ways to control me or make me feel subhuman. So let's take a look at this. Some red flags of many that I should have left at the first sign-off. Number 1, loves Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, etc. Eye roll. He did a great job of keeping a lot of his personal and political views under wraps until we were more established. Yeah, guys, so apparently if you're a fan of Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, etc., that is a red flag, apparently, guys. Interesting. He started bringing up children more frequently, even though I am adamantly child-free. I'd say around 7 months into our relationship. It was on my dating profile and it came up on our third date. It was something that I had made clear from the beginning, but he felt that he could change my mind, aka bully me into it. That's interesting. Usually it's the other way around. Like, you'll see girls who are like, you know, going into their 30s, and this is the time where they're like, oh crap, I need to have the kids, and you'll see them pressuring the dude. So it's interesting that it was the other way around. I was the first to initiate everything. Exclusivity talk, define the relationship, say I love you. This translated into the day-to-day, me carrying the emotional load and mental labor for facilitating intimacy in our relationship. For example, planning dates, always reaching out first, traveling to him so we could see each other. Look at this, guys. Look at the word choice in this particular article right here, okay? This is crazy. Carry the emotional load and the mental labor. Man, that sounds so difficult. What about real loads and real labor? No, guys. It's all about the emotional and the mental labor in 2022 of having to plan the dates with men. Oh, you know, guys, when we talk about dating, typically, actually, it's the men doing, if you're going to use this stupid made-up definition, right, it's actually typically the men who carry the emotional load and the mental labor. If you want to use such ridiculous terms, it's literally the men planning most things, trying to make women happy, but I guess we're just living in a fantasy world in this particular article. Let's continue over a couple. The only gifts he got me consistently were lingerie. No effort were put into Christmas gifts, my birthday, or Valentine's. I had to do all of the planning for those. I would get him wonderful, thoughtful gifts with nice cards for celebrations, or if I just saw something I thought he would like. He always claimed to struggle with giving gifts, but never made efforts to really try. He started articulating more and more things he did not like about me in offhanded, mean ways. He has a massive temper. He called me controlling and selfish. His apartment was okay, but over time I realized he had limited domestic skills, disgusting bathroom, can't cook, didn't get health insurance plan or doctor. This is a man in his early 30s, and I knew I would have to do all of the domestic labor in our relationship if it progressed further. Guys, I would encourage you to watch the video that I believe was released before this one of the text exchange between that man and the woman. This is what happens, guys. You know, as girls get into 30, they just get into relationships, and it's like, yeah, you have to do all the heavy lifting, right? You have to do all of it. Yeah, you know. They're like, why can't I find a good man? Every man is just gone, or relationships are so difficult. They're getting harder as I go into my 30s and 40s. Yeah, right. But this woman left her relationship of a little over a year for these things, by the way, which, you know, you can make the case that the guy's being selfish or whatever the case may be. You could make those cases, but I always find it funny, guys, how these women, they're like 30 plus years of age and they still haven't managed to figure out how dating works, right? Like, it's just absolutely insane to me. Let's see if there's anything else to mention here. So let's have a look at her lessons before we wrap up today's episode. High value behavior for the moment does not translate to high value behavior for the long run. FDS is so accurate in its assessment that low value behavior can take a very long time to come out, and people are very good at hiding it. You have to be vigilant and ruthless, and if things start souring, it is very unlikely to get better. FDS is correct about this. Cut them off the second something comes up. Your FDS journey can start however, and it is likely to be a lifelong thing. I started mine at 30. My dating experiences have generally been horrible, and I've been dating since my early 20s. And even if I don't end up with someone, FDS will at least help me prevent from ending up with someone who makes me miserable. So look at this, guys. She's had her run of the bad boys, and she is totally sick of it. Guys, we are going to be calling today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. If you feel as though I'm wrong about anything, make sure you leave your comments, guys. That is what the comments box is for. Make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link, as always, will be in the description. Totally free to join, guys. If you're interested in supporting the show, there is also an option for that. But as always, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you guys in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together these videos for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description below, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, at the very bottom of the video descriptions, there is a link for those of you who are interested in becoming an editor. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave these applications open for, but if you're interested in working with me behind the scenes, there will be a link at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, guys, as always, don't forget to come and join us over on Locals. You guys might have noticed that a lot of YouTube content creators are kind of branching off to different platforms, and that's because we really don't know what we're allowed to say or do, and a lot of us don't really know how long we will be around for. So guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. It's totally free to join. There's a support option if you're interested. There's also exclusive content and stuff like that over there, but it's totally free if you're just wanting to go and join, guys. The link is in the description, so make sure that you come and join us. But as always, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.